and we can't afford not to train. What does that mean? If you have an employee that works for 14 months on average for the company, you can't afford to spend $50,000 or $100,000 training them. By the time they're actually up to speed and they're useful, they're gone. But the other aspect of that is that companies are going to great lengths to try and hire the best and the brightest. They offer childcare and they offer free beverages and augmented pricing for food, and they hire top chefs to cook, and healthcare and gymnasiums and all kinds of things, flex hours. You can take as much vacation as you want, and this is to try and get great employees. But then what happens is these people come in, and the trust contract between the employee and the business is broken. And so they sit there and they say, oh, I'm going to take my best work and I'm going to use it for my blog and my website and my music and my art and my development. And I'll do the real basic minimum that I have to do for this company, and I'm not going to excel. So somewhere along the lines, this really has to be changed. All of the mental processes need to be changed, because if you look around, we've had motivational speakers and freedom and all this stuff for at least 3 decades. And yet we've become a pretty miserable society. More people are unhappy with what they're doing. And it's just like what, Fonzo and I say about social media. Well, how can 80% of the people on Twitter be not using social media properly? I don't know, but that is about right. 80% of the people on Twitter are either not getting any productive value out of being on Twitter of any kind, or what's worse is they're shooting themselves in the foot and they're actually alienating potential clients and hurting their business. So you've either got one of those two standards. The other 20% are doing, probably producing positive results of some kind. And maybe 3 or 4% of the people on Twitter really understand the psychology of how that can be used to really improve what they're doing. So, I'd say I'm not even in that 3 or 4% that is doing it to that extent. I'm in the 20% that's at least not shooting themselves in the foot.
I would expect I'm probably in the 80% is not doing it properly.
Yeah. So, this is the kind of stuff is like, everybody's turning to social media, and again, that monetization, and they're looking at, it's like the gold rush in California. And in California, now if you look at all the founding fathers and all the rich families or whatever, none of them were the prospectors. None of them. Maybe 1 or 2, and that would be families that probably robbed, other prospectors. But the people who have made all the money here in California were the ones that sold the pickaxes and dungarees and served the meals. And they were the ones who basically took care of all the needs of the prospectors that came here. And probably many of them took advantage. Now, if the brands lasted for a long time, it's because they didn't take advantage. They understood that if they provided value to these people, that it could extend and go further. And that's certainly the case with Levi Strauss and some of the other businesses. So I look at social media similarly. There are very, very few people that are going to capitalize, monetize, or directly figure out how to make money from social media because they're in that position. But other people, so does Brian Kramer or Brian Fonzo or Robert Scoble or any of these people make money because of what they're doing in social media? No, they're making money because companies are hiring them to be brand advocates or be supportive in the social media space with their products. It's a very different kind of a thing because these people have large followings in different areas of social media that are extremely engaged. And so realistically, if you look at social media as being a giant conversation, regardless of whether it's Twitter or LinkedIn or Facebook or Blab. I think if you look at it as a giant conversation, then you can win, because Marcus Wall will come in here and talk to me about stuff, and I'll talk to him about stuff, and then I might hear of an opportunity, and I'll go, oh, Marcus does that, and be able to say, hey, here's a guy. Or Marcus might say, hey, JS, I know a guy, blah, 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 and I talked to him about you. This is a process right now of where we're seeing business go largely, and that's advocacy. I want to see you do well. You want to see me do well, whatever. We become advocates for one another. So because I was able to see Mark on here and see him as a very genuine and likable individual who had, a great story going on, and he made it very easy for me to support him. $13.49 or something, whatever it was. I mean, this was not about him getting rich or even really being properly compensated for the amount of time that he spent creating the product.
Being encouraged, though, right?
But what this was about was just about, him literally making it easy for me to become an advocate of his.
Right.
And whether you did that knowingly or just you have a great innate sense about you, and that's who you are, that is what happens. So in this whole space of a week, you realize you've developed a whole bunch of advocates for you, people who like your space, who like what you're doing, who like this idea of what you're doing with the round square triangle. And that is a poor use of the word monetization, but a great description, I think, of how monetization works or can work.
Well, it's kind of
right.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Mark.
It's okay.
Oh,
hey,
no, thank you,
Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
What's up, guys?
Oh, not much.
Where are you? You're at the
What's
restaurant?
I don't know if you got a good,
Scott,
good reception.
Philosophically.
This is the follow-up Blab mop. I'm getting my new tire put on today.
All right.
You got your round square triangle in the mail.
What's
You
up?
got your round square triangle? It was delivered to you.
It was delivered? When?
Yesterday.
Oh, it's probably at my other house. I didn't go there. I'll go there on my way back today.
Okay.
Because usually someone's there to accept deliveries. So I don't know if that'd be signed for or whatever.
Yeah.
Are you guys having a hard time?
We're just listening.
It seemed a little delayed at first, but now it's coming through pretty good. Just for me personally.
It's okay right now. I got 5
Okay.
bars. I got 5 bars. I don't know.
Oh.
So what are you guys doing?
JS started taking us on a journey through social media, I guess.
Well, it's my journey. It's my idea of how social media works, or where I see it working really well. That was basically it. Certainly, there are a million ways you can make social media work. There are a lot more ways that you can make it not work.
Yeah. We started off with.
So you got to see this. This is the.
Sorry, I'll finish. We started off with John Prado opening up his round square triangle and showing people. And so you're all customers. Every single one of you is a customer.
Go Blab.
Yeah, but beyond that, we're advocates.
Right.
I got a call for JS.
What's that?
Hold on, JS. Let me turn this around. I got a call for you. You want this call?
That's
I'll
a nice one.
You get the same tire service that you have.
Yeah. This is the This is the Manhattan Mercedes.
Oh, look at that.
dealership. This is like their flagship store, and it's like 5 stories high. It's 5
I wanted to
stories
get
high.
my
You
wife
gotta
one
see
of the
this place. This is
Teslas.
the
I
whole
really
service.
do, but she doesn't want it.
It's the whole service area. This is like they've got a whole floor like this is
Wow.
all like pre-owns and stuff. Oh, this is owned. This is no. These are new.
Huh.
So this is all someplace, right?
Yeah.
Are you getting your car serviced now, or are you looking to get a new one?
Like they have all cars all over the place and people. And then like if you're hanging out, now this is what they have. Like
Yeah.
I'm just getting. Yeah, I had a flat
Oh.
tire the other day, so I had to get my flat fixed. But this is like the area. They got like these cappuccino machines and stuff. Check this out.
Yeah, we've got a
So
couple
like on
of
this thing right here,
Mercedes dealers like that here, pretty similar.
so you can get like
One of the dealers here, one of the Mercedes dealers here, put in a game room. They have pinball
they get, like, a
machines and
coffee,
video games and
cappuccino,
stuff.
latte, cocoa, mocha.
Wow. That's definitely customer service.
This car I like right here. This is an S65 AMG. How's this car? It's a rocket ship.
Yeah,
So let's look at the sticker. How much would you guess this car
100,000.
is?
it's about 85,000.
Any guesses how much the car is?
85,000?
Huh?
85,000.
No, it's an S65 AMG.
No.
You know what that means?
No.
All right, let's go. Let's look at the sticker. You're close, JR.
Whoa.
240.
240? No, you get up into that pricing, I'd rather have a Maserati.
Look at they got a car hanging.
That's the price of a house. I'd rather have a house.
That's the price of a block here.
Yeah, Maserati's only about Maserati's.
You can get a
Maserati's
Maserati.
about
I can get a Ghibli
20
for
now.
600 a month. The Ghibli for
Let's see,
600 a month.
This is a beautiful car. Look at
You can't really
this.
hear us.
This is the new one. This is the AMG TS. This is new. It's like a bi-turbo coupe,
Mm-hmm.
right? Look at this. Look at the grills on this thing. Huh? Look how nice.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool, right?
You can get a loaded Maserati Ghibli for like 80,000. I don't know.
It's a nice looking car.
They should pay me for this, right, JS? I should get sponsorship money.
Yeah, because you're showing it to 4 people. Hi, Elise. That's a Mercedes that cost 240,000, was it? He showed us a Mercedes for 240. And then I said, why wouldn't you buy the Maserati Ghibli for 80?
This was a pretty fun tour through the cars.
Wow.
154. You don't
And
particularly
JS,
like
we
the
can't even fit our
Maserati.
fat asses in there.
I know that's basically it.
Hey, they did the new truck over. This is the new GL63 truck.
Wow.
It's pretty nice. If you like trucks. Nice chrome louvers.
Huh.
This is really nice. You like this?
I'd take it.
Look at
The
step ups. They're pretty nice. They got a nice design.
the
on step-up.
GL, what is it? The GL class, I guess. That's the
Pretty
one
cool.
that I can fit in. They have a GL class there? Mike, can you hear us?
I hear you.
Oh, they have a GL class?
That's GL right here, buddy.
Yeah, there we go.
The one I just showed you, the white one.
Yeah. So I thought I could fit in there. That's
Yeah,
only like
me too.
60, right? 60 grand?
It's a nice truck.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just showed
Yeah.
you.
Oh,
Very
okay.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, look.
that's the one.
All right.
You're still recording
Nice.
this. That's pretty funny, Mark.
Yeah.
Smells great. Look at the stitching. Look how nice the stitching on the door. JS, look at the stitching on the door. How cool.
Yeah, it's
really nice.
Mercedes does a really good job. I don't have any complaints about it.
They have white stitching.
I did when I was I did a lot of car advertising, and I did stuff for a bunch of Mercedes dealers.
Here's the GL price.
Wow.
No, that's crazy. You get a lot less for a lot less.
If you take that comma, move it to the right, to the left, so you can buy houses for that price around here.
121,000.
10 houses for that price.
121 for the GL.
Yeah.
Crazy, right? Well, they got very expensive. I wish I had better I wish I had a better connection. I'm on 4G too.
Don't they have free Wi-Fi?
And that's for a GL class or a G class? That's a GL class, not a G class.
Yeah, GL. That was GL.
Okay, because the G class is supposed to go for 110, and the GL class goes for like 70 or 80.
No, that's GL.
And that's fully loaded.
That GL is 121.
Yeah, I can get you a better deal out here.
No, but I don't know if that may be a special edition one. I don't know. I didn't look because it's right in the front of the building. So usually that's what they do.
My son won't open your link, Mark. He's going to figure it out instead. Huh.
Let's see. This is C250. Now, this is their lowest entry-level car. This is their lowest entry-level car. A C250.
What, the C class?
For 40 grand.
Yeah, the C class.
Crazy, huh?
You can lease that car for about $185 a month.
So you just,
yeah, we used to. I did a campaign for the C class years ago for them, and it basically was for around the same price as a Toyota Corolla or Toyota Corona or Honda Accord. You could drive off in a Mercedes instead. It was a really good
this
campaign.
Is the X63. This is a newer version of my car. This is the 2015. And this is
159.
159. 159.
159. Is that the /4?
Yeah.
63/4.
Look at the.
Very nicely done.
Look at the seats on this. Look how sick this leather is.
Look at the sick leather I'm sitting in.
It's really hot.
JS.
Look on the in the middle. Look over here. They got it like embossed.
JS, I'm supposed to bounce.
Crazy.
Where do they have a place where you can keep your sausages?
It better. This is S550. It's 111,000.
Hold on.
Hello.
Hold on. Let me see if I can do this. Hold on.
Hold on.
Wow.
Now
he wanted to figure out a triangle on his own.
JS, can you hear me?
JS has popped out for a moment.
I want to put it against something that you could actually see.
Yeah.
All right, this is what he was probably talking about. This is a GLK.
Can you see it?
This is probably what he was talking about.
So this is what happened.
50 grand, 47,000.
He said, he goes like this, a round square triangle. All right, hold on a second. Between the time I said it and it's pretty close.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing that they think so differently. You know, I looked at it 18.
How
I looked
did-
at it 18 times and I didn't figure it out. But then, so what I did was after he drew it, I showed him the website. Hold on a second. What? A graphic calculator? I don't even know what that is. No, we don't have that.
Wonderful.
There's toilet paper up there.
That's just something for JS, Mark. I just
Okay.
wanted him to read it and then
What's that? Oh,
Okay.
this
So it's
bucket.
fabulous. So is he there? Can he say how he thought of it?
Hold on a second.
Okay.
I don't know if he'll know exactly.
All right.
Hey, Harrison, the guy who invented that wants to know how you thought of that. That's him right
Your
there.
process.
This is Harrison. I don't know. Well, you did it. So he's curious to know. Here, can you hold this? What?
is somebody doing yoga in the background?
Okay, well, hold on. Just talking for 2 minutes. Hello. He's talking. Hello,
Hello. Harrison? What's your name?
Harrison.
Hi, Harrison. So how did you figure that out?
Here, wait.
How do you flip the camera?
Can't.
Oh, that's stupid.
Okay, so you first started drawing each shape.
So I thought, well, because I didn't really know what to do first. So I started with the circular base. So that would be the base. And so then it could fit into a circular hole. And then the triangle would have to be a point like an arrow, like an arrowhead. So it would be sharp. So I just did that. Then it gives it two planes of being like pointy. And then since it's still in a square, because it would be in the shape of that. You could still go through a square hole.
Perfect.
Can I do homework?
He wants to know if he can do homework.
Do more? Yes, I will tell you more. So, if you have these three shapes, how many different shapes can you make to fit through each one of these? So I'll give you three right now. We have a circle, we have a square, and a triangle. So those are shapes that'll fit through. And you have a round square triangle.
Here, hold on.
What's the total of all the different combinations?
Oh, what happened?
Okay. So
I
that's the
missed
total
it. I
of
can't
all the
see you.
different
Hold on.
combinations.
Hold on, Marcus, can you see him?
Yes.
All right, hold on a second.
All right. Not yet. Do I need to reload?
Test.
Yeah, I can hear you good, Marcus, there.
All right.
That's pretty cool that he actually worked through it pretty much the same way I did.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you perfectly. Wonderful. So you have a round square triangle, which you figured out. We already know circle, square, triangle. How many other shapes are there that you can have to go through these different holes?
Many.
What are all the combinations? That's something you could work on.
Wait, how many other shapes? What do you mean by that?
Well, you have a round square triangle. That's three shapes in one. And I'll even give you a hint. There's actually two ways to make a round square triangle.
I would start with the dodecahedron and work my way backwards.
Troublemaker. But you've got combinations of all these. Think of all the combinations in 2 dimensions and 3 dimensions.
Kind of like a spork.
Yeah. Are you understand?
So, Marcus, I took a look at what you wrote, and I think I understand what you're talking about, but it's a little disjointed, and I think your call to action needs to be more pointed. Oop.
So that was cool, by the way. So we have an actual kid, who used this and used his brain and worked through this.
So is what he came up with a viable solution?
Yeah, I mean, drawings a little bit, but he drew it exactly the way it looks. Right? You have this conic shape, and he realized that he started with a circle as a base. And he said, okay, if we're going to square, it would kind of be like that. So you ended up basically making a, a cylinder. Mm-hmm. And he said, okay, so how can I make the cylinder pointy? Which is exactly how I manufacture these. I start with a cylinder, a rod. Then at some point I know I'm going to cut it off. But
He's for hire.
Cool. So here I'll walk him. Well, I'll let him think of it, I guess, but I'll walk him through it. Okay. Unless he wants to go through it himself and we come back to him. So you want me to tell him or does he want to figure it out? Oh, okay. All right. I'll tell you then. So you can have a 3-dimensional, so you can have a flat one, 81 ways. It's actually pretty easy. So we can have a ball. A ball is round in every direction. It'll go through. We can have a cube, which is also square in every direction, goes through. We can have a kind of like a pyramid, but it's a triangle that goes all the way through. You can have a square triangle.
I got to hop off.
Is a pyramid.
Get back to work.
And you can have a round triangle, which is
anyway. Marcus,
it's just
we can discuss what I just read. Marcus,
all right.
I can't hear you.
And Marcus has dropped out.
I can hear Mark. I can't hear Marcus.
I hear clicking on Gilbert. Mr. JS. And Marcus is nothing, Marcus. Welcome back.
Hey, man. Yeah.
Wonderful.
I heard an echo earlier, and so I was messing around with my settings. I just took my microphone off, and then I think when you start messing around like that, like changing settings, then it may take a refresh to get everything organized.
Could be.
Yeah. But because all I did was just refresh, and now I'm back to normal. But yeah, I don't know. We might as well break the party up. I'll get back to doing my somewhat mundane work. Okay.
All right.
Hey, Mark. Oh yeah.
Well, I was really excited to see her son use it as a thought process. That was great.
Oh, Elise's, yeah.
Yeah. And when you get yours in the mail, I want to record you opening it.
Hey, I would love to do that. And just circumstantially, I had left my keys with my ex, so I just didn't have them. I was actually thinking about driving to the post office to get it just because you said it was here. But even if I have that inclination, I cannot go get it right now because I don't have my keys.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, I would, if you want to record it, cool. Then I'll wait for you. I'm kind of excited to see it, but I will wait to open it until you give me the green light then. Because am
Okay,
I getting a special one?
I couldn't figure out this. I couldn't get the special thing I wanted to do done, but I am going to do something special for you.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
So I'll tell you what I tried to do, and JS asked for it. I wanted to put something special on here with the laser, but this is shiny, and lasers bounce off of shiny things. So I couldn't pull that off. So
All right.
I want to do something else, but I will get something else special. So tweet me when you've got it, and I'll jump on and we can.
Okay, brother. Let me make sure that I'm following you on Twitter.
Yeah, I gotta
Which
follow
I may
you.
need to do. Okay, I gotta follow you. So I did that, and also, so you're saying to get a hold of you, like when I'm ready to rock. So I'm gonna mark down your Twitter address at Mark Profit when I get ready to open. Okay.
Yeah, I need to run over here. I turned off my internet at home.
All right, my friend. Always a pleasure. We'll
Thank you.
Catch you around.
Likewise. All right. Sawadee krap. Sorry, I'm recording now.
Oh, okay. Oh, I got my round square triangle yesterday, and it's pretty cool. I can definitely see how you've designed it for like being an icebreaker that you could just walk around with. It's pretty interesting. I may bring it to an event this evening and actually see how it works.
Very
as an
cool.
icebreaker. So yeah,
cool. Did you practice on how to do the little maneuver?
What's funny is I don't know if I'm just an absolute incredible genius or if you just really made this pretty intuitive. But it didn't take any effort at all. I got it right the first time. So I think probably it's the latter. You just made it easy to do.
Well, good. Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah. So how have you sold a few more?
Well, I sold all of them that I'd made.
Oh, well, that's good.
So I had to go and I made some more, but instead of just making more, I made a new tool so I can make them quicker.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I would imagine milling the aluminum piece is really the tricky part.
That does take some time. Yeah. Because I got the laser cutter. That's easy now.
Yeah.
The milling the aluminum is tricky. The milling's not real hard. I mean, but polishing them afterwards, if you don't get the milling right, takes a lot of time.
Now, I noticed with the round part, you actually have to go in with the smaller portion first. You can't just go in with the round part straight into it.
No, you should be able to. If that's
a little tight.
A little tight. Okay. I thought I checked that on everyone. So yours is a little tight. Okay.
John Preto is unboxing his.
Yes. Where is he? It's have him. Is he on doing it live? He's supposed to come over here and do it live.
Hang on.
I can't open this thing. Let's see. Oh, where's Jess?
So I'm actually in the chat in the other room with Mark. He said, "Can you go over there and do it?"
Oh, sure.
Okay.
There's the link. Okay, we're gonna go over there, everybody.
Alrighty.
Click on that link.
Cool.
This is very cool.
You probably heard that, right? He's coming.
Yeah, I heard that.
Okay.
And here he is.
And I guess Jane is coming too.
Okay.
We had another room set up, Marky.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah. I got mine. It's not downstairs in the office, though. It's upstairs, and the maid's there, so I can't.
When did you get it?
Yesterday.
Oh, JS got a haircut, huh?
I've had my haircut.
Either that or you just combed it, one of the two.
No, it's cut. It's cut.
Oh, okay. We're recording, huh?
Yes.
First customers.
Oh. Thank you, Will. Thank you, Marcus.
How do you want to start this off? Are we waiting?
So, John, were you number 3?
I don't know, Mark.
I'm don't recall. I think you're the second batch. So
Okay.
JS was day number 1. He was number 2.
Yes, I
JS
was number 2. I was the number 2 when Marcus was number 1, I believe.
Marcus was number 1.
Oh,
I got
nice.
mine, yeah. Marcus is sitting in a PO box. Uh-oh.
Oh, is it? Oh, so who was the first person to open theirs? JS?
I guess that would have been me.
Nice. Nice. This is exciting. I'm going to bring this to San Diego. I'm going to San Diego tomorrow for my nephew's wedding. My family has a preponderance of doctors, lawyers, and scientists that love these kinds of, little gimmick things, whatever we call this. I don't know how to properly describe what we call this thing, Mark.
Brain teaser?
Brain teaser. That works. So I'm going to bring it down and show it to all my family, and I'm sure they'll order some.
Cool.
The same demo as Mark. I don't have great beard and hair like Mark does, though.
Well, JS was saying that first time out of the box, he demoed it perfectly.
Yep. It's pretty intuitive.
Yeah, well, JS is a pro. We all aspire to be like JS.
Yeah.
Actually, I can't demo it because I sold all of the ones I have.
You did, right?
Wow.
The only one I have here is a defect, and it doesn't go through the hole properly.
That stuff will kill you, John. Don't drink that.
I know I don't have anything else in my house because we're leaving tomorrow, so I didn't go grocery shopping this week. I don't normally drink that, Jess. I drink tea.
I'm drinking Mia Voss water.
Nice.
Ooh, neat. So Jane, you don't know what we're talking about. These are round square triangles, which you can go to roundsquaretriangle.com to see more about it. But
so what happened about a week ago, Jane, just so you know, about a week ago, Mark had this idea for creating this product for a while, and he made a prototype, and I think maybe a couple. And then online, John and Will and Jens, and also wasn't Carlos?
No, Johnny Pappas.
Anyway, a bunch of people basically all came together, and Mark wound up with a website, with a PayPal ordering thing, with a video, with a logo, with all kinds of stuff, and we watched this parts of it live on Blab, and Marcus was the first one to buy one. I was the second one to buy one, and I guess quite a few people did. And anyway, kind of cool. It's a neat little item for people who like brain teasers and puzzles and things of that nature. And so I've discussed that I want to get one in like silver with gold accents, and that's larger. Yeah,
I'd like to have one larger as well. Yeah.
Okay.
First time I talked to Mark, I'm like, I'd like to have it 3x that size that you have it there.
Yeah.
Or maybe larger, actually. Maybe 10x.
3 to 4. Yeah, 4 or 5. Yeah, 5 times the size.
5x might work.
Yeah.
Hey, Elise.
A big one. So Jane's still like puzzled as to what we're
So it fits in your pocket, and the idea is you go out and you can sort of use it to break the ice with people at events or parties or whatever. It's just a little conversation starter, and or can be a really cool little gifty item.
Jane was one of those girls that couldn't wait for Christmas to open up her presents, so she used to sneak in and open up her presents at the middle of the night and then wrap them back up again.
She's not saying no. Yes, and yes. That's funny. Ooh. Did you do that, Ann?
There it is.
So I jumped on Blab this morning to talk to Jane because I saw Jane in the Blabs. I went to bed last night. I saw Jane. I got up this morning and I saw Jane. My phone rang at 6 this morning from the hospital where they had my father, because my father snuck out in the middle of the night last night without telling anybody. And got lost, and so they called me up. So I've been driving around Boulder City, picking up my dad and looking for his car. We safely retrieved all that, and now I jump on Blab to say hello, and Mark jumps in immediately, says, "Did you get it? Did you get it?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He says, "Tracking says that it's in your mailbox." So I go running down to my mailbox, and here it is, unopened, fully sealed, circle, round, square, triangle.com. You can order it there. Are we ready, Mark? You want to preamble?
No, you've preambled it pretty well, both of you, JS and John.
Thank you.
This is wonderful. I'm really excited to see this because.
Okay.
So we're literally, this is pretty much exactly 1 week from when we started it. So in 30 minutes, we got this website up because of people helping me get off, and primarily because I was staring at a blank screen and being lazy or procrastinating. And we went from that to a real customer having one in his hands, actually a bunch of customers having them in their hands now.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, the envelope, please.
Now be careful because you'll rip the paper that's in there.
Oh, Price Waterhouse has audited all documentation. How can I not be careful? Now you got me worried. Okay, I've got my invoice. PayPal, $13.95 with the handwritten note. Thought you also might be interested in predictive innovations.
$13.95 is the final cost to you. That is the price of the item and shipping.
And there's Mark's handwriting. He writes in cursive, which is interesting. I write in all block letters.
I would have thought you'd write in Cyrillic.
Oh, I got multiple. Oh, I got the punch outs of the holes. Is that what you gave me?
Yes.
So you can actually see. Okay, are you ready, Jane? Here. What do you call this? A template, Mark?
Yeah, a card.
Card. Okay, so Jane, this is a mind-bending puzzle for you. We have a circle, or the round, a square, and a triangle. And in 2 dimensions, the triangle will not fit into the circle, the square will not fit in the circle, and vice versa. Correct? What if I told you that Mark could create an object that would be able to be placed through each one of these holes while touching all sides simultaneously? So a triangle, a square, and a circle.
I have one upstairs.
And he sent the punch outs, right? So if I try to put this through here, it doesn't work, right? And vice versa. So let's see.
How would you fit a 3D object through there then?
Yeah.
How indeed.
Okay, so I have this thing. It's kind of cool. I would like it 5 times X larger, Mark. Yeah. It would be cool because it would have some girth to it, right? Here is a device. I don't do it as well as Mark because he's practiced more than me. And I'm going to take this device and put it through the circle. You see, it touches all the sides.
Watching today, I am wearing a shirt from the John Preto collection.
Yeah, that's right. But it also is a square, so I'm pushing it through the center of the square. It touches all sides. And then finally, I can push it through the triangle side. And that is a special 3-dimensional object that has all sides to it.
No issues at all either. Very intuitive.
Circle, square, and triangle. Ta-da! And then he gave me all the cutouts to do the further proof.
So
and we're recorded. It's very cool, Mark.
Squarandical.
And it's I don't know how do you do that lettering on there, Mark?
Laser cutter.
It's a laser cutter. So Mark works in. Tell him about you and your story and your makerspace and all that.
Yeah, so I helped start this makerspace, the Jackson Makerspace, which you can visit at jacksonmakerspace.org, or actually come and visit if you're in Jackson, Michigan. And we have a whole bunch of tools, like all kinds of tools. And because I have tools, I can make stuff. And I made that on a whole bunch of tools, actually, which if I would have bought the tools, it would have cost like $30,000 to be able to buy the tools to make that. But for $20 a month, I have access to hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of cool tools. So I used a Bridgeport mill. I used a lathe, metal lathe, some grinder brushes, and a laser cutter to cut these out. And that's what made this possible.
How did
and
you get the idea for a single shape that could go through? How did you get this idea for your little round square triangle piece?
Well, that stems from predictive innovation. So I helped create a process called predictive innovation. It's a system for thinking. That's a very structured system of thinking that allows you to see the whole idea space for something. And as a result, you can solve seemingly impossible problems. So I was just doing exercises kind of come up with seemingly impossible problems and thought of this. And it was a pretty cool little thing you can actually, hold in your hand. I've got a couple of them here. And so it's real physical. And I could demonstrate the idea of if you have one dimension, as he said, he kind of ruined it a little bit when he said it, but you show it this way, in 2 dimensions, this would be impossible. You can't have a round square triangle. That can't happen. But
the piece that you have there in your hand, was that done on a 3D printer?
No, this was done.
No. The other, yeah.
That one was done on a 3D printer.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And I'm having problems with the 3D printer. I don't know if you can see this, but it's not so good.
Oh.
So that's why we're not doing the 3D printers. And then this one is plastic that I also did on the mill, but you can see that little dimple there. Trying to hold it causes the dimples, and that's a problem. But the aluminum one, and this one's damaged, but the aluminum one looks really nice.
Yeah.
And that's the one that everyone got.
It goes in the bathroom.
It goes in the bathroom.
Yeah. It's empty. It goes in the bathroom.
It's not going to go anywhere.
It takes right now, because I made a bunch of tools to be able to make it. Because in order to do this, I have to hold it like this, cut it with the Bridgeport.
Yeah, good.
Flip it over, cut it again. Ooh. There we go. Nice.
Is that an eyeglass case you put it in?
Yeah.
That's what I need to do. I need to get a nice case for you guys.
Just put it in the garbage. I put it in the bathroom.
Why don't you tell them what the Bridgeport is?
I got a better idea. I will show you. So I will show you the tools that I use to make this. That is the laser cutter. That's a laser. It's a 60-watt laser, 60-watt carbon dioxide laser.
And you can adjust the depth. You can cut all the way through or just go partially into objects.
And that's actually where your cards were.
Nice.
I think actually...
What kind of wood is it, Mark?
There.
What kind of wood is it?
It's a maple, I believe.
Maple laminate, right?
Maple laminate. And this monstrosity is a Bridgeport. This table moves back and forth. It goes this way and that way. It goes in and out and up and down. And this spins around with a blade that cuts vertically. It's not like a drill. I mean, you can put a drill in here, but it shaves it off. So I put them in there. I've got a tool that I had to make to hold them at the right angle so I can cut them and then flip them and cut them. Then I take them from there and take them over here, stick them in this machine, which is called a lathe, and I cut them off and I get the little pieces. Then I have to take them over to here run them a little bit to knock off any rough edges. And so what I have two things. I end up with big piles of tinsel and round square triangles. So it takes me about now, because I built some tools, 10 minutes. It was taking me about 20 minutes to build yours. I think I can get it down below 10 minutes now.
I heard there's some 3D printers now that are working with metals.
Yes, there are. We don't have those here, but there are metal printers. They're called typically they're called laser sinterers. So they put a powder of powdered metal and a laser.
Guys, I gotta run. I gotta take a call.
All right, fabulous. Well, thank you, John.
Thanks, Mark. Fantastic. Love it.
Soon you'll have a factory cracking these out. Yeah, could be.
Actually, quite true. So something I'm planning to do real soon is make a mold.
Now you're there alone
at the
Makerspace. Is there anybody else there with you at the Makerspace?
Not this time of day. But and actually part of the reason is I forgot to announce that it's open. Oops.
Okay.
But that there is a sample injection mold machine. So I'm going to do that, not for the ones you guys buy, but for the classroom versions, because this is going to be a part of the STEM learning program by doing. And I'm going to help promote science, technology, engineering, and math by doing, which is one of the goals of the Makerspace. And this round square triangle I'm working on a lesson plan using it.
Cool.
So what about sending it to 3D Hub and direct ship from there? It's a possibility. I have to look into all that stuff. I have all the equipment. So let's look at the price on that.
Oh, where'd Mark go? Yeah, I guess the fun is in the making, huh? But I'm going to be really curious to see what happens when he gets people in to this space that has, individuals who have ideas and visions, and they can cut loose with all this equipment.
Oops. I clicked on the link and it knocked me out.
You're super loud now.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll try to be quiet until it adjusts.
So have people been coming in and using the space?
Oh, yeah. We have people coming in all the time now. So we're approaching our critical number of about 40 members. And at $20 a month, that keeps the lights on, pays for the insurance, and people can use it. So we have a whole bunch of people coming in. We've been having some classes, and it's starting to really be really cool. It took about a year to get going.
Yeah. We have quite a few of these types of spaces here in Northern California, San Jose, Santa Clara, and a couple in San Francisco. The problem, of course, here is the square footage costs are crazy.
Yep. Well, yeah, so ours is $20 a month because everything you saw, and you didn't see all the stuff, everybody who's seen this, I don't want to do another walkthrough. You guys can, anybody wants to see, they can go to jacksonmakerspace.org. But we got 6,100 square feet donated. All the equipment is donated, or members brought it in and donated it that way.
Right.
So that's why it's so cheap.
Yeah, I think here they've got, sponsorship. Like I think HP is sponsoring one. Might be a combination of sponsors on another. So But we have that huge makers fair every year here.
Mhm.
And I keep wanting to go, but I don't do well in crowds, and it's elbow to elbow at these things. So they literally, I think they get like close to 200,000 people attending the event over, I don't know, it's 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, and they're lots of fun, lots of interesting stuff to see.
Well, yeah, this one, I mean, they have competitions that are sponsored with big prize money. And so you'll have teams entering from MIT and from UCLA, and it's pretty amazing stuff. I think, was it last year or the year before, one of the teams actually created an electric gas hybrid car where the car was able to get something like 240 miles to the gallon.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's wonderful. And that's the whole idea of making, rather than waiting for somebody else to do something. If people, we have these tools now available. Like I was saying, for me to make the first one, if I had to pay for all that stuff, it would have cost $30,000
easily. And
so this was only possible because I had access to all this stuff. And it is affordable to do. So you have yours because of the makerspace and because Blab and everybody again pitching in and helping to make something happen.
And then here we have some that are very cool that also get into electrical engineering as well, where they've got all access to incredible amounts of raw electronics material for creating robotics and things of that nature. It's pretty.
Yeah, we have that too. So we've got electronics, we have sewing, we have plastics, injection molding, and die, and we've got plastics work. We've got laser cutters. We've got ceramics. We have glass. We have the wood, metal.
So glass, would that be glass blowing or glass? Yeah. Wow. That's amazing. I wish there was none of this was around when I was younger. I used to color.
I got into computer programming because whenever I wanted to do electronics, but I'd put the things together and I'd make smoke out of them.
Yeah. Well, if it wasn't for like the TRS-80 and places like that, Heathkit, I did manage to get into Heathkit a little bit.
That's cool. Yeah, we have 6 3D printers in this building.
Wow.
And 3 CNC machines.
Mike the Nerd makes unbelievable items on 3D printing in several mediums. Wow.
Yeah, those things are really cool. So that was pretty fun. Part of me making this.
Oh, I had a question for you.
Yeah.
Why not laser emboss the aluminum piece?
Because aluminum is shiny and lasers bounce off shiny things.
Okay.
I tried it. I was specifically trying it for yours. I wanted to put it on there, and I couldn't get it to do it. There's a chemical I can put on here, so it'll give a black that sticks.
Oh yeah, the photo, whatever. Yeah, I know what it is.
Yeah, but I couldn't. I didn't want to wait to get the stuff, so I wanted you to get yours.
It's called liver something. Liver something. I can't remember what it's called.
Ooh, that's pretty there.
Wow, that is beautiful. So he makes super complex models for Comic-Con.
Neat.
Well,
we had a kid in here just yesterday. He printed out a 3D print of some what's that Japanese card game?
I think it's called liver of sulfur. Is that what you put on there to get it to?
Yeah, I don't know the exact chemical, but yeah, there's some chemical that reacts with the metal and then binds with it after you hit it with there. Yes, Pokemon. So he printed out a Pokemon character and then painted it. So he has his own Pokemon that he made here.
Pokemon, you are not a Pokemon master. That's my impersonation of Ash. It's probably not very good.
But I'm really excited. Thank you so much for making statements and doing this there.
Yeah, it's well, and you know, I think that the space should be highlighted. You know, at some point, what I would like to do actually is write an article about this and see if I do write, not much anymore, but I was a contributor and on the advisory board for Create Magazine for 2 years, and I've written a lot of articles. Would be kind of nice to just sort of write an article about this and how, you know, how you came about making the maker space and did all this stuff. So
yeah, that'd be wonderful. I would love to do that. I would love to help you with that. I'd love to have that happen. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I would need to rely on you maybe to get a few decent pics of stuff that would be, you know, highlighted in the piece, but we can
definitely do that.
Yeah, let me give you, this is me, and just send me an email, and then
okay, I have your email, I believe.
Oh yeah, I guess from the sending me the product.
Let me check. Let me check to see if I have it here, just to make sure. Yes, I have it, I believe. Yes, I have that email. Okay.
Yeah, so just send me an email, and I would say like within the next couple of weeks. I'm still a little crazy here. I was taking a break and thought I'd hop on here and see what was going on. Also, I'm doing a big blab tomorrow night, so I wanted to see if anybody was signing up for it or whatever. Speaking of Comic-Con, I've got about 6 or 7 of the voice talent from League of Legends that are coming on board. And several of us have also been on Walking Dead, the game, and a lot of other video games and stuff. And also the guy who was the audio lead, the dialogue recording lead and audio lead for League of Legends when it first launched, is going to be Link the Blab. Oh, okay. Okay. Let me find it. When scheduled. There it is. So it's going to be 5 o'clock Pacific time or 8 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow. And going to be rotating a bunch of people in and out of the seats. So not my voiceover boys. These are actually professional voice actors who have been in numerous things. In fact, one of them has been in Pokemon. We've got hopefully a woman who was Spike TV's voice of the year last year. I hope she's going to make it. She might. So these are people that you know from Comic-Cons and from doing games and things like that. So, but a lot of them have done voices on League of Legends and other games. So the guys that are on here that do impressions and stuff, they don't actually work doing this stuff yet, and who knows, maybe someday they will, but they're trying to get to that point. So
neat.
Yeah,
that's cool.
But yeah, so none of these people have been on Blab before that I'm bringing on.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah, and I put the word out through the whole League of Legends universe. So we'll see what happens. The last time I did anything major, resulted in an audio file being downloaded about 4 million times in a month. So I don't know if it'll scale at all as far as Blab is concerned. We'll have to see. So I'm curious because a lot of people have what's that?
Have you mentioned this to Farquaad or Sean?
Oh yeah, they all know about it, Sean.
All right.
and Brittany, yeah, everybody knows tomorrow at 5:00. The thing is every time somebody says I'm going to bring the house down and fill the room up, they fail to do so. And I don't know if it's just that Blab is so new, or if people are just so geared into watching the replays and things like that. This could be the kind of thing where only maybe 100 people show up total or whatever. And then if I were to put it on YouTube as a replay, it would get 1 million views in a month. I don't know. It's just hard to say. People are very hard to predict. So
yeah,
that's one Will says he's watching a lot of replays now. Yeah,
that's one of the real
interesting kind of thing is you'll see something in here that's only had 5 or 6 replays, but then the owner of that Blab has posted it in YouTube and it's gotten 1,000 replays. So it's just that we don't have the bodies that are coming in here and are comfortable with the space yet. So I don't know what they need to do. That's Team Blab's job, and I'm just happy to be here and experience it for what it is right now. So
I really like this Blab, and it's the community. I mean, the app is cool, but it's the people. There's definitely the people.
The problem has traditionally been that community, it doesn't monetize. So community helps community, community takes care of community and things like that. And traditionally people will come in here if they see the extreme value. So I'm learning something. What is the value of people coming in here? And it has to be on a grand scale that they feel they're getting a value here that they don't get elsewhere. But then again, the world is very, very attuned to a 16:9, vision. And it's hard to say. It's we'll just have to see how it grows and expands. But I'm hoping we get a really good turnout tomorrow night. Like I say, when these things have taken place elsewhere in other venues, thousands of people have shown up to see what was going on. So, and considering that Duncan Watt is one of the voices in League of Legends, but he was also the audio lead. He was there at the inception of League of Legends, and so he never gives interviews. So I would think that people would. That's funny.
Yes. JS and Mark scare me when they look at me.
Well, yeah, people are not used to having 3 or 4 faces looking directly at them.
Especially when I do the Wolverine thing.
Yeah, it can definitely be a little. I kind of look at this from the standpoint of if you look at Apple computers, what's interesting about them is that most of what they have done has been taking things that have not worked for other people or other companies and finding the right time and the right way to improve upon the product. I don't know if you guys know, but the name iPad was a registered trademark for Fujitsu. And there was an actual iPad that came out in 1987. Microsoft came out with one in 1991. So there have been 5 or 6 versions of iPads with different names that have come out.
Apple had the Newton too.
Yeah, the Newton didn't work. And I think the reason why the Newton didn't work is as far as they've been able to market everything. I was just reading an article and they were saying how, Apple works upon the premise of think different. And I don't agree with that. I think they work on the premise of our stuff works together. So it's about working in tandem. You buy an iPhone because it works extremely well with an iBook or a MacBook Pro. It's the only thing they don't call a MacBook Pro, and it works well with the watch and it works well with this. So all their their products tend to work well together. And then of course iTunes. So you look at that kind of stuff, which we don't really have in the Microsoft or even the Android world for the most part. So, you know, and so the question here is, you know, is this the right time? Is there, you know, are people going to really in great numbers adopt this? So I'm curious, and this is sort of my little test, because in the world of League of Legends, for example, to be able to go into a chat room and ask questions of 6 actors and the audio lead, people who generally don't give interviews, I would expect it should get 1,000 people in the chat room. And if it doesn't, I don't know what that's indicative of or what that means. So
I would say the only reason they wouldn't show up is they don't know about it.
Oh, they know about it.
Okay. Or the timing, just the time of day is bad for them. That would be the only reasons I would think.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I say, there was an event online, a live event, and you know, people from Brazil and China and all over went to this thing, despite the fact that it might have been 3 o'clock in the morning for some people or 2 in the afternoon for others. So I don't know. We'll see. It's interesting because when Team Blam says, okay, well, you know, I hope you do, you know, crash the system. I hope you do, because we've had people come in here and say they're going to do that, and it hasn't happened yet. So we'll see.
Yeah. But there definitely has been some blabs with a lot of people in them.
In the chat room at one time, I think the most has been about 150.
Okay. And I guess on the scheme of things.
Yeah, no, there actually was a Brazilian one with a big actor, and I think that was 275 or something. So,
yeah, and in the scheme of things, that's not very many, really. But it's a lot for here.
Well, for a live video presenting platform, if you're looking at, again, monetization, if people are looking at wanting to get sponsorship and things like that, you know, you're going to need to have programs on here where, you know, 1,000 people maybe can watch it live, and you're going to want to see on replay maybe, you know, millions of people. So that's going to be the thing in terms of, you know, where we get into money making, unless you have shows that really reach demographics and have super fans and things of that nature, where even small numbers are going to be of interest to certain you know, brands or things like that. I could see that happening if it's you know, geographically very specific. You know, if there was something like you know, they were covering a festival in Nashville or something like that, you know, then the numbers don't have to scale, but you do have to have a lot of people from Nashville watching it. I don't know. Large crowds that yell JSJ. No, I think that's from Rollerball, if I'm not mistaken, Marcus.
But this definitely offers, I don't know. I love this environment here. I think it's people thinking of large scale and trying to monetize in that regard might be missing the point.
Well, I know there's certainly a lot of other benefits, and we've gone over many of them in terms of community. You know, being able to support shut-ins and invalids, elderly people who have difficulty getting out and about.
Well, how about just you and I right now? You're in San Francisco. I'm in Detroit area.
Yeah.
And for you and I, now we're both kind of advanced people, but
I don't know.
I mean, we're mildly.
So we are early adopters.
We would not be in the same room together very easily.
Yeah. Okay. Now, from the standpoint of being a maker space, I can see how Blab can really be a wonderful tool in terms of showing individuals who maybe have never thought of how they can express their creativity. They can see other people using those tools, for example, starting from scratch and developing things. I just wonder how many people have either seen or will see the processes that you went through creating the round, square, triangle, and then think to themselves, wow, I could do something like that.
Yeah, I would hope many.
Yeah.
Because actually I think I recorded it when I was just playing around with them. I even recorded making one originally and showing stuff.
Yeah, Will brings up a couple of really good points, viewers at a rock concert. So that would be interesting to see, from the standpoint of a rock concert, you can have 4 windows going at once with 4 different views of the stage, or you can have one of the windows being somebody doing commentary on the concert, in which case at any point, if you wanted to, you could turn the volume off on the other 3 windows and just listen to the commentary.
Sporting events.
That would be one of the things that I would love to be able to do on here, especially from the standpoint of recording, would be to individually set the levels. So if I was going to record something then that way I could have all the people in the boxes at roughly the same level. One little feature, but that would also work really well if you had a commentary on a concert, or, if somebody was using tools and somebody was talking about the tools. So I know how a saw works.
Yeah. Mill's a little different than a saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. And CNC, then there's the mill's different than routers. I mean, you have routers that can work on metal. You have routers that can work on wood. So there's a lot of interesting ways you can use the equipment. And one of the things that I think is just so cool is, if you have like a vintage motorcycle or a vintage car or something like that, and you need parts, to be able to actually work with those laser sintering 3D machines. Mm-hmm. It's just absolutely incredible to think that you could, basically go in, take your old part, scan it, make a couple of changes to it or whatever you need to do, and then recreate it.
That is amazing. Now, actually, one thing you can do, people sort of forget this, is you can cast something. So you can use the 3D printing to make a mold, then you cast it, and then you hit it with the mill to clean up some edges, and you've got a perfect part, a real manufactured scale type
that's
part.
True. Now, could you make a reusable mold, like a silica mold or something?
Or steel or whatever? You can make all that stuff here, and we can do.
So it would be like a 2-part mold, I guess. Yeah.
Maybe limit the next product to tools that can be. Oh, yeah, I could do that. That's an interesting point. That's actually a really good point on that. So maybe I could just start a business, because that's one of the things we want to do.
No, Will's a pretty darn smart guy.
But you brought up a really cool point of something that'd be cool with Blab is maybe you can do this with anything, but the makerspace we really need. Well, I'll just focus on making something. I'll be broadcasting that, and people can hop in, ask questions, and it's an interactive, training while we're doing it, and it gets recorded, and people can watch it later. But
you can create a sort of PBS kind of channel, if you will. It's interesting. I see educators on here all the time, teachers and stuff like that. Yet I don't see anybody. They use this to talk amongst themselves and their issues and what tools they have available. But wouldn't it be cool to have somebody do an ESL program on here? English is a second language, and especially given the international aspect of this. So I don't, again, I guess what I'm not able to see, and maybe it's partly because of how I was brought up and what I learned in business school, is how Blab is going to make its money and how people who are on Blab are going to make their money. And when you talk to folks at Blab right now, they're saying, look, that's not our concern right now, or at least not a major concern. They maybe have one eye towards that, but very lightly. It's really about, let's get this out of beta. Let's create a stable product that seems to work for as much as possible for everybody and implements the features that people want most, and then market this and promote it and so on and so forth. So I think that's kind of where they are. I'm hoping, at least by spreading this League of Legends thing through the Blab community, or through Blab, through that community, that I'm exposing a lot of people to the potential of using this resource. But given that market it's a valuable market, and I think one that Blab would really like to tap into, predominantly 16 to 30-year-olds. I just don't know what level of adaptability they will have with this particular thing. So it's interesting. But now when you get into things like educational or the maker space, I bet you a lot of 16 to 30-year-olds would come in here because of that.
Maybe. Hopefully. We've been struggling with getting people to come to the maker space. It's funny. There's a lot of people, they're not looking for it. They want it, but they're not looking. So getting them to know about it has been a little tricky. Even when we advertise, they're just not looking for that. So word of mouth, person to person, has been the best thing for us. And on occasion we get 7 people come in. One person heard about it and brought all their friends all at the same time, and everybody signed up. Same, one visit, they all signed up. So that type of thing happens, and Blab is interesting that way. There's an interesting thing that I saw on Blab. I was hanging out here watching stuff, and there's these 4 women, and they were in Europe, between Holland and England and whatever, and they were artists, and all 4 of them were working on different art projects at the same time. And they would sort of state the topic, and they would each work on their own vision of what that thing they were making was. So they'd say cats, and they'd make a cat something or other, all 4 of them, and you could watch them do it. It's really neat.
Wouldn't it be cool if you do you know what plein air art is? It's when they are actually on location painting, usually scenic. But wouldn't that be great if you had 4 people that were plein air artists and they were out painting a scene, and you could actually watch each one painting the same scene in 4 different boxes? That would be pretty cool. There's just, how many uses for this type of medium. It's pretty incredible. The only problem with it is other things seem to be more digestible and easier to spoon feed to people. Certainly the concept of radio or TV or even online, streaming audio, that kind of thing. A single 16:9 viewing of people doing things that you would normally watch on television or in the movies or whatever, all those conceptually are a lot easier to feed to people. Whereas I think you have to be a little bit of an experimenter. You have to put a little thought into it. You have to be a little bit different, and maybe even in some cases the word daring might fall into play to use a Blab because of the way that it's set up.
In a way, it's the same thing with the maker movement. Instead of just being a consumer watching it, you participate, and we're in the same regard. So I have noticed that sometimes you'll get in a room, and there'll be a whole bunch of people watching, and no one sits down. Or they were sitting down and they got bumped off because it's not working properly.
Hey man, I'm doing some testing and stuff. Can you hear me even?
Loud and clear.
Oh, really?
Perfect.
All right. Playback.
Thank you.
Says,
Marcus was customer number 1 of Round Square Triangle.
Indeed, he was. You have customer 1 and 2 on here now.
Wow. 1 and 2.
let's go to. I'm trying to do. Trying to go to my headset speakers.
Okay.
You see what happens when I disable. There we go. There, say something.
All right, I'm saying something.
Thank you. Yes, I hear you in there now. Okay, and then I'm going to go into recording. So that would be the mic. Okay, that's working properly. Okay, so here's my question, guys. Small experiment today. So you guys hear my voice and stuff right now, okay? And I'm going to put in this new microphone, which I thought would dramatically change my performance. And I want to see if you guys can even tell a difference.
Okay.
Okay.